Hi, I'm E.D. Lewis and welcome back to my channel, E.D. Lewis Reviews, and no, I've not gone crazy. Yes, I'm wearing a sweatshirt in the, well, we're not quite in the middle of summer, but, well, maybe are almost in the middle of summer. But it's Christmas in July, or just about, since the 25th is just around the corner, and so here we are. So I'm going to do a Christmas in July review, so something a little different than my usual. So let's get started. So the book I'm about to review, I had started reading back in December. It was I was reading something holiday-ish, but I ended up DNFing it. It was temporary. I thought, I'll pick it back up and give it another try, because I just wasn't feeling it. So I picked it back up last month, planning to, hopefully finish it. I knew there was a possibility that I may end up DNFing it again for good this time. Well, clearly that did not happen, as you saw in my wrap-up video for June, so, here we are with the book now. So, I am reviewing A Very Beary Christmas Cruise, a paranormal fated mate romance. It's part of the Darkwing Paranormal Holiday Cruise series, and let's go ahead and read the synopsis now. Oh yeah, by the way, it's by Ellie and it was published in 2020. Sail away with a holiday shifter romance. Michelle has lived most of her life knowing she's prophesied to be a sacrifice for her coven. Certain she's destined for an early death, she's been saving money for her dad and living with a string of 1 or 2 night stands. No mate for her. No use planning a future she doesn't have. Now she can't wait to get away for a solo Christmas cruise and steer clear of her happily mated friends and family. Ex-soldier and bear shifter Granger is hoping his carpenter contract gig on the Nightwing cruise ship will turn into a full-time job so he can spend more time with his 5-year-old daughter. After losing his father to the shifter widow illness, he's made an oath to never mate and risk leaving his little girl alone. Fate brings Michelle and Granger together, so they decide to enjoy the time they have with each other before going their separate ways. No harm, no foul, right? Except fate has more than a fun cruise in store for them. A sexy and heartwarming story about love, family, and dedication. A perfect mix or cocktail for the holidays. And then it has a little disclaimer saying that each of the books in the series is a standalone. So that's the synopsis, and there are a few things I can tell you without, them being spoilers for it, so if you're interested in reading the book, Granger's little girl, Amelia, she's special. I will not say in what way. You'll have to read to find out, and it's very interesting. And there is a bit of, and the specialness carries a little bit of a connection with Amelia. It doesn't really say in the synopsis, but Michelle, it doesn't really say that Michelle's a witch. I mean, it says a coven, but, we've heard of covens of vampires and stuff. She's a witch, and, of course, Granger's a bear shifter. He transforms into a bear. There's kind of a lack of shifting, but there is kind of a connection. That specialness has a little bit of a connection to Michelle. And also, Amelia is actually not Granger's daughter. She is actually his niece. His deceased sister's daughter, who he pretty much, adopted. He became her guardian, and he adopted her as his own. And he lives with his brother and his brother's partner, who owns a club. And Amelia is kind of shy and stuff. She's kind of scared of shifters, so she doesn't really play much with other children, and she doesn't like watching her, and she calls her dad or uncle or dad-uncle, Daddy Granger, turning into a bear, because it, frightens her. Well, so this romance is definitely spicy. It definitely has, paranormal stuff going on, because there's all kinds of shifters running around on the cruise, and there's a witch, and There's not much shifting going on. I mean, they talk about it and stuff, but you never actually see anything. You see Granger, like, make a claw come out of his finger and do something really quick, but that's about it for the shifting wise. There is some magic that goes on. I had some issues with this one because it didn't really explain the world. It just kind of threw you into its own world without any explanation. Now, maybe some of the books that are not part of the series that are connected to it, that take place in the same universe, maybe they explain things better. It's not like reading a Sookie Stackhouse novel where they basically introduce you into and ease you into the whole thing, or an Anita Blake book that does the same thing, Anita Blake Vampire Hunter book. But yeah, this one didn't, and so I was really lost and confused for a while. I didn't, like, oh, okay, and I'm like, huh? Wait, what? I was not the only person that had these problems, because I did look up at the time back in December and looked at some reviews, and some people had the same problem. This does kind of get resolved because it does explain some things later on in the book. I just wish it had eased us in and explained them earlier. Not too much, of course, because, in writing you don't want to give everything away, but I think they should have, more information should have been given for, the novice of the series just coming in and reading it and be like, what's going on? What is this? Huh? But rather than that, it was funny. There was a lot of funny moments throughout the entire book from beginning to end. There was also some really sweet, as it said, heartwarming moments in it too that were just awesome, and there were some really sad parts too. There was also at one point, like in the whole middle of the book, there was a lot of sex going on, which kind of surprised me, because for a lot of the romance books that I've read, there's not quite so much in there, and this had quite a bit in the middle and a little bit toward the ending. But yeah, so that just kind of, surprised me too. So there were some surprises with this. I ultimately gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I probably would have given it 4 if those little issues had come up, had not come up. It probably would have gotten 4, but I gave it 3. It's still enjoyable. I do recommend, if you're looking for something Christmassy, something holiday-y, I'd recommend this. So, if you're looking for, and you like paranormal romance and shifter romance, check this one out. It's not the only shifter romance I've read. I've read a few here and there. But yeah, so check out A Very Berry Christmas Cruise by Ellie Pond. If you're interested in shifter romance, or you want a nice, sweet, hot, spicy, and heartwarming as well, read it. So, there you go. That's my Christmas in July review. So I'm going to get out of this sweatshirt, whatever, really soon. It's not my normal hat. Couldn't find my normal hat. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great July, having a great summer thus far, and I hope you're staying spooky and staying safe. And I'll see you next time with another video very soon. Bye-bye.